Hello again. Today I'm going to talk about how you can schedule Kubernetes pods on specific nodes. We have a sample question here. Create a single pod using an image like HTTPD 2.441 Alpine in the default namespace. Name the pod Alpine and the container should be named Alpine container. Take note, this pod must only be scheduled on a master node without adding any other labels on any other nodes. Now, how can we tackle this question? So I have here my Kubernetes cluster. Let me quickly check the status. So all my 4 machines are up, 1 master and 3 worker nodes. Now, to tackle this kind of question, first we need to find the taint value on a node that we want to schedule the pod on. Next, we need the label of the node so that we can use it to force the pod to start on that node. Now, what is a taint? A taint literally means a contaminant or pollutant which serves to repel. So when we apply that meaning to Kubernetes, it means that a node which repels pods from being scheduled on it. So since toleration means to put up with, therefore toleration in Kubernetes concepts would mean that it's an acceptance for a particular taint and hence allow a pod to be scheduled on a node. So in summary, any node with a specific taint would prevent any pod without a matching toleration from being scheduled on that node. I hope I explained that clearly. We will be using the grep command, which I know as get regular expression print. It's a Linux utility used to extract text values by using regex matching. If you are not sure about the grep command, I'm sure you can Google many useful videos covering that topic. Please go and check it out. Thanks. We will then pipe the output of the first command through the grep operator to get the value we want by using the pipe symbol, which is this symbol. This is the pipe symbol, right? So with that being said, let's check the taint, if any, on the node that we want to schedule on. I am going to use the master node. So I'm going to find out the names of my nodes, and my master node name is control, right? So next I am going to describe it, kubectl describe node control, and grep for the value of taint. -I means case insensitive. It's one of the flags for using the grep command. So you can see there's a taint. This is the taint key and this is the value. So when we apply a toleration later, we have to make sure that this key and the value are exactly matched without any difference in spelling or characters. Otherwise, it will not work. Right? Next, we need to get the label that we need to apply for toleration. So I describe the node control and I grep case insensitively 10 lines after um, the word call label. Okay, 10 lines. So this is the label that we want. We don't usually use control plane, we use this label, right? Okay guys, let's go and create the port. So let me clear the screen. Now I've seen in many resources recommending that we set up an environment to stop repeated typing of certain commands. So in this video I'm going to show you two such tips. It's up to you to use them or type out the command entirely. The first one is to quickly delete ports without any grace period. So I will do an export. I am using the word now, force flag, and then the grace period with a value of 0. That one, right? The next one will be the dry run client, which will create a YAML output of kubectl run port command. So we will use the word do dry run equals client output YAML, right? So let me demonstrate what this does. If I do a kubectl run a port call nginx with an image of nginx, and I use the value of the do export, and I add this content to a file called nginx YAML. And if we view the nginx YAML, and this is what you get. You get a nice YAML output, right? So I don't know about you guys. I think it does save some time, especially when you have only a few minutes and you have a choice between attempting some questions, right? Okay. Back to the question. So they want you to create a single port using the Alpine web server. They want you to name the port Alpine, and the container should be Alpine container, right? So let's do that. So kubectl run, the port name should be Alpine, and the image is HTTPD 2.4.41 Alpine, and then we pipe it to alpine.yaml. Yep. Yeah, this is the one. You can get rid of this one. You can get rid of this. So we have the file. Now let me save it. So earlier we ran the command to get the label, and also the taint. Okay. So if we look up Kubernetes documentation for Taints and Tolerations. You have an example here. So it comes directly under containers, right? So I basically just copy this and then reopen the Alpine file. Let me just first copy the value, right? So the effect was no schedule, so no change there. We just need to change this. We'll come back to this. Insert it here, right? Okay, that's toleration is done. Then we need to apply the NodeSelector, which NodeSelector label, which will ensure that this pod will only run on the master node, right? If we check up NodeSelector on Kubernetes, there's one example here. Same thing, it appears under containers. In this case, they're using a NodeSelector called disk type with a value SSD. We don't need it. We're going to use a value of this entire line. So I'm going to open the YAML file again. Paste it directly under tolerations. So since there's no value here, we will have an empty value. And this one, we just copy this value, because that is the node name, right? Okay, since in the previous step we actually fixed the YAML file, let's go ahead and create it. Create file Alpine. Oh, we have an error. Apologies. I don't think we can use a capital letter for the file name. Okay, easy fix. Let me just use the move command and move it to okay. Let's try again. Oh. Okay, I think we also need to change the value inside the file. Yeah, that's right. Inside the file, we need to change to small case. This one should be Alpine container. Okay, let's go ahead. Yes. Let's get the output ports. So the container is already running on the control node. To prove that any new port without any matching toleration or NodeSelector will not get scheduled on the control node, let me go ahead and create a series of ports with an image Nginx. Yeah, we get a output. You see guys, it's going on the nodes by default. Let's create a few more. And if we get the output again, right, nice, one on each. So it never gets created on the control node, right? Okay, now we have an opportunity to demonstrate the benefit of using the delete environment that I set up earlier. Let me just show you the regular way of deleting without any flag specified, right? Delete port nginx. You see it hangs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, thereabouts, about 10 seconds or so. What if I now use the now value, immediate? So it saves you about 8 seconds or so, right? And you can also delete multiple ports at the same time, just for demonstration purposes, right? So if I now get an output, nothing is available. Okay guys, this brings me to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and meaningful for you, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye.